Welcome back to Couch Talk, everybody. I'm Joe, and I just got done watching the trailer for The Mortal Engines. This movie is being produced by Peter Jackson, but it is not being directed by him. It is being directed by Christian Rivers, who hasn't ever directed anything, but he was involved in a lot of the art department stuff for all of Peter Jackson's other movies. So he, I guess, helped with scenery, and I'm not too sure exactly what they do, but I'm assuming it has to do with something with the way the movie looks. This is his directorial debut, and I mean, the movie looks good. The graphics are there. It looks like a Peter Jackson movie, but I don't know. There's just something about this trailer that's not hooking me. Now, the problem with the Mortal Engines, to me, is we live in a generation where there's so many blockbuster movies coming out left and right. You got all these superhero movies from Sony, Marvel, DC, Fox. Then you have things like The Hunger Games, and you have Twilight, and then you have all these other movies that are coming out that didn't work, like The Mortal Instruments and Beautiful Creatures, and I'm honestly not too sure of all the names of them, but all these like teen action adventures, and a lot of them are misfiring now, and it's because we're so overpopulated with them that unless they really stand out as something unique and special, they're not going to land. They're not going to hit the ground running. And I'm not saying that this doesn't seem like it's hitting the ground running, or I'm not saying that this doesn't look like it could be good, but the trailer's not giving me anything to make me really go, holy shit. Now, like, I get it. It's, unique. It's planets that move around on mechanical legs and attack each other. But they're not showing that in the trailer. Again, you gotta understand, I'm not saying that I think this movie's gonna be bad, but I just think that the trailer isn't giving me enough to get me excited. I had the same problem with Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets. When that trailer came out, they gave me too much action, but not enough story in the trailer. And every good movie needs at least somewhat of a good story. And the trailer didn't have any of it. It just had a lot of the action in it. So I was really disappointed. And a lot of people that were huge fans of it responded very negatively to the video. And I didn't mean to offend anyone. And I was never saying I thought the movie was bad. I just thought it was a bad trailer. Then the movie came out, and it did have a story. It was okay. I didn't think it was anything special, and it didn't do that good at the box office, so it didn't spawn a sequel. And I'm kind of having the same problem with this movie, but it's reversed. They gave me too much of the story, like why, Hugo Weaving's character is going to war with this young girl, but not enough of the action. Like, I want to see these planets kind of like destroying each other for like 2 or 3 seconds in the trailer, so I kind of have an idea of what I'm expecting. A lot of the action they showed was from person versus person, and that's really nothing new. It's nothing unique. And again, I'm not saying I think that reflects the movie, but the trailer as a whole is just not getting me excited. Now, again, another thing this movie has going for it is that, yes, it has Peter Jackson producing it, and I mean, if it caught his eye, then clearly there is something behind closed doors that we're not seeing in the trailer. But on the flip side of that, Peter Jackson's only really ever done The Lord of the Rings and a meh version of King Kong. Although I really like Jack Black in that movie, and Adrian Brody. And I'm not saying he's a bad director or anything. I mean, he made 6 super successful movies, all in the same universe, same franchise, Lord of the Rings, and then The Hobbit. But that's really all he's ever done. It's not like J.J. Abrams, who went from making 2 really successful Star Trek movies to Star Wars, where you could look at him and be like, oh, he has kind of like a big background in like sci-fi. Like, really, he only has background in Lord of the Rings. So he doesn't have a whole bunch of experience to make me say, like, oh, this guy's done, like, a bunch of different universes and different genres that, like, I know that whatever he takes is going to work. Because he's only done one thing that worked. And, I mean, Lord of the Rings, when it first came out, it came out in a time when there wasn't a lot of movies like that. There wasn't movies that big of scope. It wasn't that epic. Those were the times where there were still, like, smaller, lower-budgeted movies coming out. So when a movie like that came out, there wasn't really any competition. And I'm not saying I think The Lord of the Rings would have done bad because they're fantastic movies, but Mortal Engines has a lot of competition between superhero movies and Dwayne Johnson movies, and there's just tons of blockbusters coming out. Man vs. Shark and The Meg. And I just think that for it to really hit the ground and gain a lot of traction, it's what a franchise, and clearly the audience is there because I've seen a lot of love poured into the comments for this. It really needs to stand out, and one of the biggest ways a movie makes a lot of money is if the trailers get people hyped. And so far, unless you're a diehard fan of the books, a lot of the comments are just saying it looks meh, or it looks like shit, or this and that. And I, honest to God, think it's because the trailer's not giving us anything to get excited about. Also, The Lord of the Rings had like a pretty big cast going for it that even people that didn't really know the source material, they still went to see Viggo Mortensen or Orlando Bloom. This movie only really has Hugo Weaving, who's also Agent Smith in The Matrix, and he played Elrond in The Lord of the Rings. And he has a pretty big following, but that's really the only big name actor in the movie. The young girl and the kid, the two main characters, I don't think I've ever seen them in anything before, and if I have, I don't remember. So they're not bringing like A-list actors in that will bring their fans. Like, you know, Ben Affleck comes out with a movie and like he has his group of fans that are going to go and see it no matter what. But really, there's no A-list actors in it to really bring in that type of crowd. So really, this movie's only banking on the trailer. And as of right now, I'm just not impressed. So again, do I think this movie's going to be bad? No. Maybe. I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. But the trailer didn't do anything to get me excited. So as of right now, I'm going to just say we'll see. I don't know if it's going to be good. I hope so. You know, I like Peter Jackson, and I think that there could be something special here if done right. I'm about to pick up the books and read them to get a better idea of what I'm about to get into because clearly the trailers aren't doing it. And on the same time, maybe they're doing it on purpose because they want to save it. But, like, I just feel like they need... I don't know what it is, but they just need to show me that, like, holy shit, I need to see this movie moment. I saw an article on IGN with them saying, like, they saw some of the footage of the planets attacking each other and that it was awesome. And that's great. Cool. I'd like to see it so I could feel the same way because as of right now, it just looks like another, like, teen, like, revenge movie. Like, it just doesn't look like anything unique. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you agree with me? Are you excited for this movie? Have you read the books? If so, do you hope that it spawns a sequel or a franchise? Let me know what you guys think. And as always, I'll catch you next time.